Car chase near the U.S. Capitol ends with a woman dead, a toddler in child custody, and a lot of unanswered questions. We'll have details of yesterday's chaos in Washington, D.C.
Plus, candidates vying for mayor of the capital city faced off last night. In the debate, we'll tell you their plans for getting the city out of debt.
We've learned about the dairy industry in Lancaster County. We took part in interactive activities at the Turkey Hill Experience, even made our own ice cream, and now it's hardening in the freezer and we can't open it. You're just gonna have to wait to see what comes out of here in just a bit. I'm Rebecca Solomon, and Fox 43 Morning News starts right now.
And now your local news in high definition. This is Fox 43 Morning News.
Well, good morning. I'm Heather Warner. It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock.
It's a beautiful day.
Ashley with us this morning.
Yes.
So yeah, we're kicking off what's expected to be a pretty good start to the weekend here.
Beautiful weekend.
Andrea, I know you've got a closer look at the numbers right now. We're doing all right here, huh?
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, at least temperature-wise. It's a mild start across the region right now. Currently at 63 in Harrisburg, 61 in York and in Lancaster, 61 degrees in Gettysburg. Our temperature's starting to rise a little bit more this morning. 61 also in Lincoln and 59 degrees in Lebanon. Our visibilities are still down as of the hour, but in some spots they are starting to creep up just a little bit. This could still slow you down as you're heading out the door. Satellite and radar also showing a few clouds moving through and even a few light sprinkles popping up. But for the most part, we're talking mainly dry across the region and a small chance for a shower or thunderstorm continuing throughout the day. Highs remaining into the 80s through the upcoming weekend. And now it's time for our first check on your traffic. Here's Chris Garrett in the Toyota of York Traffic Command Center.
Traffic in 30, information you need to know before you head out the door. We got big problems still going on. 83 northbound between Yoakumtown and Lewisberry. You will still see a lane knocked out as you're traveling into Harrisburg. Also, crews are working on the turnpike. Left lane still reported out between Harrisburg East and West. Watch for delays with a tractor-trailer accident. Moving down into York, crews are still working with the situation that's going on. Route 30 in the area of the Hellam interchange. Watch for delays. Also, crews still working there with one lane in, and also coming in from the westbound side. So east and west, traveling near the bridge, near the Wrights Ferry Bridge, you're going to see delays trying to get in and out of Lancaster or York. Speaking of Lancaster County, here you got crews working with an accident at 30 East in the area of the Fruitville Pike and the Lids Pike. From the Toyota of York Traffic Command Center, I'm Chris Garrett on Fox 43. WPMT News Time is 8:02.
Thanks, Chris. The latest this morning on the police chase and deadly shooting near the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Police say Miriam Carey rammed into a barricade at the White House yesterday afternoon. Then they chased her to the Capitol before she was shot and killed. Now her family is trying to piece together why all this happened.
You see these things happen to people and you wonder, like how this happened. It's out of the ordinary. So of course they're shocked, and as a family member as well as how this whole thing occurred, because no one knows the exact circumstances of how this really occurred. That's a whole nother part of this investigation on the family side.
Officers found a 1-year-old in the car with her, but they did not find a weapon. The child is okay. Investigators say it was not an act of terrorism, and they report that she had a history of mental illness. And this is new video of the police chase that was released this morning. It shows a police officer racing to the scene. A witness captured the crash on camera. The officer slammed into a barricade on his way to yesterday's lockdown situation on Capitol Hill. The federal officer was one of 2 officers injured in the incident. Both officers are working without pay because of the government shutdown.
Yeah, it is day 4 of the government shutdown. Lawmakers don't appear to be any closer now either to reaching an agreement. So far, the only spending bills passed by Republicans that would end the shutdown include changes to the affordable health care, which both Democrats and the president say is non-negotiable. Well, last night, Representative Scott Perry stopped by Fox 43 and he talked about what he thinks needs to happen so they can get this budget passed.
But again, we're spending $1 trillion more than we're taking in, and we're $17 trillion in debt. It doesn't have to be Obamacare for me, but it must be something. What are we going to do about the spending? And essentially what the president and Senator Reid are saying is, let's just keep spending and not do anything. And I think most people think that that's the wrong thing to do. It's not right to shut down the government either, but it's not right to keep spending the way we have been.
Meanwhile, yesterday, during a stop in Rockville, Maryland, the president said and he accused the House Republicans of being reckless. He said the House GOP needs to pass a budget bill that doesn't tie other issues like defunding Obamacare to its passage.
The American people elected their representatives to make their lives easier, not harder. And there's one way out of this reckless and damaging Republican shutdown. Congress has to pass a budget that funds our government with no partisan strings attached.
But there may be a breakthrough on that debt ceiling. Republican House Speaker John Boehner says he will not let the government default and is willing to rely on Democrats to approve raising the country's borrowing limit. The government has 2 weeks before it runs out of money to cover its debt unless they raise the debt ceiling. And in Pennsylvania, WIC offices remain open for now. The PA Women, Infants, and Children's Office provides nutritional services, health care, and healthy foods to approximately 250,000 people each month. The program can continue normal operations for a few weeks because they have funds left over from last year. They are working with the Department of Agriculture and Governor Corbett right now to develop a plan just in case the shutdown continues for an extended period of time.
Well, power in the capital city is at stake. Candidates for Harrisburg's mayor faced off last night in the fall's first debate. Dan Miller and Eric Pappenfuss went at each other over the receiver's plan to get the city out of debt. Write-in candidate Louis Butts was also on the panel. Pappenfuss endorsed the receiver's plan, saying he would help make it reality, while Miller said overall it's a bad deal.
Aside from that, there's nothing good about this plan. The truth is that the debt doesn't go away. It's smoke and mirrors.
What is your plan? How is Dan Miller as mayor going to work? You have no support on city council, no support amongst the receiver's office.
Independent Nevin Midland was not at the debate. It's still unclear whether he'll be on the ballot. Later this morning, Aaron Johnson, who is Deputy Director of Public Works in the city, is expected to announce his candidacy for mayor. Students from McCaskey High School have spoken. Mayor Rick Gray beat Republican candidate Charlie Smithgall in a mock election for Lancaster mayor. Students conducted a town hall forum on Wednesday. They asked each candidate questions on a number of issues such as the government shutdown, the economy, and youth employment. After the forum, students had the chance to vote. 280 students voted for Mayor Gray. Smithgall received 260. Both men will face each other during the November general election.
In light of recent mass shootings across the country, Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster is considering arming its campus police force. In addition to that, for security officers, Franklin and Marshall's Department of Public Safety currently also employs 19 full-time sworn officers. The sworn officers require the same training as all municipal police officers in the state, but they don't carry any guns. The college has planned a series of forums and meetings over the next several months to try to get input from the campus community on this subject.
This is a decision that we're thinking about from a standpoint of protecting our community and making it as safe of a community as possible. It's not a decision that is taken lightly.
It is up to the college's board of trustees to decide whether to arm officers. That decision's not expected until February of next year. Police accused a woman of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Diocese of Scranton. Sharon Warnacek worked for the diocese for almost 30 years as an office coordinator in charge of charitable donations for Catholic missions. Well, investigators with the Lackawanna County DA's office say that she used those donations to pay her credit card bills for at least 7 years, and she stole around $340,000.
Well, it is October and the countdown is on till Halloween.
It sure is. We've been seeing those decorations all over stores for some time, and now all those costumes are out. Children are out trying to figure out what they want to be, and some parents are seeing this on the shelves and they're not so happy about it. Naughty leopard, others saying diva, and so this is a bit of a controversy right now. People sounding off on social media. We're asking you this morning, what do you think about this? Is this bad to market to kids in this way? You can hop on our Facebook pages to let us know what you think.
The countdown to our Turkey Hill Experience creation is on. We're going to give you a little sneak peek into what's brewing in this freezer. And let me tell you, there's only sweetness going on here. I'm Rebecca Solomon. We're going to show you these flavors, plus some of the limited edition flavors that you can enjoy this time around.
It all sounds so good, Rebecca. All right, here's a check on your morning forecast. We're starting off with some fog across the region, but that'll burn off quickly and lead way to a little bit of sunshine. But there is also a small shower chance out there that'll persist through the rest of the day. And you are taking a live look across Lancaster right now. It is 8:09. Coming up in your full forecast, find out how warm you can expect temperatures to get today and how long they'll last.